Hello there. Welcome to another talk. And excuse me, I'm gonna go quite deep today. Today's talk is about podcast, meditation, is about my own, well, you know, in this, it's not really real, but the awakening that this character had at the age of 24. And this picture, I was 24 in this picture. And at that time, that's when my head blew off. I had this unexpected spiritual awakening. And it happened very simply because I sat down one day, and I've said this many times, I had enough of everything. Now, some people reach that point and they kill themselves. I knew someone that did this. But at that moment, it's like I had a little image of myself in the future. And then everything changed. A few seconds. And then everything changed, and I know what I did. For the first time in my life, I was heart-based. I was authentic. You see? Because it's like in that moment, of just at the moment of the big awakening starting, I had it, and it's like I had enough so much that I knew everything was going to change. So I went within to the divinity within the heart chakra, and basically ignite, and that's what happened. You ignited the character Sean Taylor ignited an awakening. And and then this transformation happened, and I went through a rebirthing. No, literally rebirthing. I was getting information downloads, not voices. I wasn't hearing voices. It was like my own thoughts. But it's like what David Icke says about it. Consciousness comes in via the brain, and the information coming in was telling me that I was rebirthed. I was taken back to the womb. I was going through this massive thing, and that lasted for 2 weeks. And then the healing started. Then after 2 weeks, 2 weeks was crazy energy. I mean, this energy was like peak life force, like before a baby's born. Peaking life force, because that's what a baby is before he or she is born. That and it's the world that actually programs them out of that. Basically, that's what happens. It makes them part of the machine, takes them away from that divinity. But this awakening, and then I went through an inner healing thing. So basically, the big thing that happened first, it's like David Icke says about it. He says when you're away to awaken, you don't get a warning. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, anyone can do this. I had enough. I had a friend that chose to commit suicide. Right? And he had that moment, but the difference was he thought in his imagination that was the better choice. Some would say he's in a great place now. I don't know. But it's just a choice. And he probably thought it was easier than actually making a go of his life. It's just a different choice, really. And anyone can do this. Anyone can choose. I mean, I watch mediums on the internet And they say that that's how you connect with your loved ones. It's through the heart chakra, because that's the vibration that they're in the spirit world, in what Christians call heaven. And heaven is supposed to be where they are now. When they die, that was the version of them in life. And I'm not going to go off topic here, but you can research that yourself. But yeah, this was my awakening, and it was a lot of inner healing. What the energies I had at the first 2 weeks, I know what that was. It was to show me what I would eventually get once I evolved enough. Those energies were like, people talk of Kundalini. It was that type of energy, uh, I've taken drugs in the past, and this was more stronger, more intense than any drug I ever took when I was younger. And this was on another level. And I'm even going to include MDMA in that as well. And this was more intense. This was like that, but imagine like more, like stronger, a lot stronger. And I was crying a lot at the start, because all of a sudden I was going within, I was healing, and so then for the past 10 years I've been going through a healing process. Anyone can do this, it's not that I'm special. I mean, people talk of chosen ones, yeah, but you're chosen as soon as you decide to be, as soon as you decide to go within it. That's the only difference between the chosen ones and the non-chosen ones. The non-chosen ones just do nothing. They want the government to do it all, or they want, someone else to do it, to sort their life, their twin flame or something. But the real warriors of light, they go within themselves. And then you discover that there was no you to begin with. And that you go through this healing thing where you're realizing that there's not even any sound. There's not even anything that's ever existed. But within this non-existence is a miracle power. And that is the creator of all life. And ultimately that's what you are. A lot of atheistic people, they are half there. Christians are half there. There is nothingness. But within that is a miracle force. It's the same force. The closest representation of that force is your heart chakra. Right? One of my breathing exercises that I got downloaded was you're breathing through your heart. You feel the source energy be sucked in through the heart vortex for 10 seconds, and you express it outward through the heart for 10 seconds. And that's one of the breathing exercises I do that was downloaded. I think similar things do exist. I do other breathing exercises that do exist as well. So, a lot of them have been invented by other people that I do. But that's a good one to do. But again, there's no people. And when I'm doing my talks, it always goes in this direction, because this is what I go into the nothingness thing, because that's been the process of my awakening. So I'm trying to, you notice that a lot of my talks that I often start off one direction, and then it leads into nothingness. And that's because there are a lot of people talking about nothingness, but some of them have got it slightly wrong. There is non-existence, but within that is the miracle of all life. There is this special unconditional love force that is the creator of all life. Some people say it's Shakti and Shiva, that's symbolic of it, I suppose. But it's like that. It's like a divine feminine, divine masculine, God and Gaia, or something like that. And this force is already perfect, and it ignites life, and it manifests dreams and realities It's all dreams, of course. There's no real reality. It's nothingness is the source of all life, but within that nothing is a spark, is this infinite creator. You see, so, and that's what I was tapping into at the age of 24 when I went within the heart chakra. You're tapping into that miracle force, and that's how the life starts to change, and you start to ascend. And the twin flame, as I mentioned earlier, that is, or you don't have to say twin flame, soulmates and stuff like that. That can be on the pathway, but it doesn't have to be, because the divine feminine, divine masculine do exist within you also. You do get people who are that ascended that they don't have anyone, but they're in absolute bliss within them. Nirvana, as Buddhists call it. And that is like this perfect state of enlightenment, where you're basically, that love that everyone's looking in the twin flame is actually within you. But that's not to say that you can't have that also. You can, and it would even improve everything. But the point I'm trying to make is that the character in this dream needs healed, because you're going to bring that onto someone else. You see? So that's why this awakening of mine had to take place, so that I would heal all this. And I realise now that there ultimately is no Sean, never was. Sean was every life form is an expression of the same infinite consciousness. This light that I spoke about earlier, this miracle power within absolute nothingness. It's very simple how it's already perfect, because it's infinity. If you got infinity, that means it can run itself an infinite number of times, meaning it gets the infinitely perfected version of itself. That's what you've got if you're dealing with infinity. You can run yourself an infinite number of times. You see? And so, the last point that I want to make before I end this talk is the if you believe in solutions, is the heart chakra, the heart vortex. That's how my awakening began. The character, so that is where you go into. So if I'm going to give anyone any advice ever, or if it's the last thing I say to them or anything, that's what I'm always on about. And like I said, mediums say that's the energy of the spirit realm, heaven, is the heart. You see? So that is the solution. That is the solution. Because imagine if everyone does that all of a sudden, then you got a much different reality. The problem is people are in their ego minds and not their heart. You cut all narcissistic ties when you are pure heart. That's the solution. Because anything that comes up within you is stuff that needs healed within the psyche. So heart, living from the heart, that's how I got my awakening. That's the solution to everything. I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research, and much, much more, please do check my website at www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you.